Now, my final question before I come to the floor was actually about friends. One of the students asked today that we have our close friends who are vaping. And they are really close to us, but we don't do that. And also, we don't condone that. But then if we say anything to them, we'll lose them. What do we do in such regards? Understand, if you stay with these people, you'll end up falling for the trap. And I'll give you a story. Sheikh Muhammad Al-Arifi is one of the Imams in Saudi, and he's a storyteller. He tells a lot of stories. He's very popular with the youth. He's a young Imam as well, he's not very old. So he mentions a story. A man fixed his ways and he changed his ways completely. And he became a da'i. He says he became a da'i. He met one of his old friends, the old way where they used to be the Khan with the Tkhin and everything. So they had all this friendship before his past. So he met them and they said, why don't you come and hang around with us? So he went to hang around with them and he found that they were attracting him over there. They started, oh, remember you were like this, you used to do this, you used to do that. Now you become a mutawwa, mashallah, and you don't come and see us. So he avoided them. He just went away from them. And then one day, they decided that they will actually bring him back and make him do something haram. So they all hatched a plan. Now, he made this part of his life that he's never going to go back. They said, you know what, we're going on a journey and we want you to come and give us da'wah. The shaitan is very smart. You know what, you have to give da'wah, mashallah, your friends want da'wah. And they put him in the car and they went to this house and they gave him alcohol. They mixed it in the drink and he just started drinking that. They brought a lady in. She gave him alcohol. He drank the alcohol. He stayed with the lady and he was naked in the bed and covered in the sheet and he fell asleep. Now after a few hours they came. They started waking him up and he wouldn't wake up. And they got surprised, what's happening over here? They started waking him up and they realized he's dead. The man changed his ways. He was on the path of Allah, but he went back to his old ways. He died in the state of haram, in the state of zina. He died while he was having alcohol. He died when he was still in the state of impurity, which he had not taken ghusl. So understand, your friends will take you to Jahannam. And subhanAllah, one of the hadith which I wrote down, this is an amazing hadith, which is about the man when he dies. You know, the hadith is long, but it says, إِنَّ الْعَبْدَ إِذَا وُدِعَ فِي الْقَبْرِ. That when the man is brought, Abd, the slave of Allah is brought, he's laid inside the grave, وَتَوَلَّى عَنْهُ أَصَابَتْهُ. And you know, his friends, they turn back and they go, they leave him there. And then آتَاهُ مَلَكَانِ. That at that time, the two angels, they come. So they ask a long question, the hadith, I want to cut the story short. They ask the evil person, مَا هَذَا الرَّجُلُ. They're talking about Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, okay? They're asking that. فَيَقُولُ لَا أَدْرِي. He say, I don't know. And what does he say? كُنْتُ أَقُولُ مَا يَقُولُ النَّاسُ فِيهِ. I only know what people used to say. Which people? His friends. So the people that you hang around with, they will take you to haram, and they will also take you to Jahannam. So be very careful who you're hanging around with. Subhanallah, it's the friends that take you away. You know how they say, if you have a rotten apple inside a basket, and if it stays there longer, the entire basket will become rotten. So what do? You take the rotten apple out and you throw it away. That's the analogy. Ask people, and I can say, but I can probably see some people are reverted. You converted to Islam. Sorry, what was your name? Have you come to Islam? Are you new to Islam?
No.
MashaAllah. Maybe I was just making assumptions. But the point over here is when anyone, if you know of anyone that converted to Islam, you ask them, the people that they were hanging around with, and when they come to Islam, and then what happens to them, the company, the suhbah that they come to. So it's very important. Your children who they hang around with. You know, right now, your children do not have enough control over themselves. There'll be a time, it will come, that these friends will take them over. They'll take them over the line. Now understand, brothers and sisters, your children going to a Muslim school, do not think that your child is going to Jannah. No, he's not. Well, what that means is he has less challenges as compared to a public school. If your child's going to a public school, Allahu musta'an, because the challenges over there are immense. The challenges over there that your boy cross-dressing in few years is very likely. That your boy coming out to become a girl is very likely. That your girl becoming a boy is very likely. That your child being exposed to vaping, e-cigarettes or Juul or all these brands which are out there is very likely. Why? Because they constantly being, it is said in the research that was done, 14 to 18 years old in a public school, after the pandemic was over, when the children started going to school, there's an increase of 18% in them. Right now, it is very likely if your child in a public school, every one child in 4 is vaping. Out of every 4 children in a classroom, 1 is vaping. That's the public school figures for you. I'm not saying it doesn't happen in a Muslim school. I'm an imam in a Muslim school. It happens over there as well. They're becoming more smarter. You know the hoodies they wear? So when they search, you know by the law, if you know the law of department, the department teacher cannot touch your child. Do you know what? They can't come and touch them and put their hands inside the pocket. It's not allowed a teacher to actually touch a child or even search his pockets. He has to empty his pockets. So the teacher will say to you, empty your pockets. So you know what they do? They put it inside the hoodie. No one's going to actually think of that. You know where the string comes out? Over here? They actually put it inside there. You know these vapes nowadays, they actually look like a USB. So it's inside the pencil case. So how are you going to catch them? Understand also this industry of when it comes to the cigarette industry, you'll be very surprised. In advertisement every year, in advertising this industry, I found, and when I was reading this, I was flabbergasted. You know, when I looked at this, I was like, what's happening over here? It said it's an industry of $12 billion. That's just spent on advertising. What does that mean? 34 million daily is pumped into this industry. Just to get that. And you know, it's even concealed now. You go, by law, no cigarette is sold openly. It's concealed, it's in a cupboard, it's in a cabinet. Even then people spend over 20 or 25 or God knows what the price is today. And also, subhanAllah, the Truth Initiative survey, what they said, once you start quitting these habits, you start having an improved mental health. SubhanAllah, if you are of my age sitting over here, we never heard about mental health in our days. Well, I'm 67 next year, inshallah. So, basically, I should have said in few years, sorry. So basically, if you're my age, as I said, In my days, you know, we never heard about bullying. Never heard about bullying. And we never heard about mental health as well. Today, every other child are mentally challenged. Everyone's suffering from some mental health. Why? Because of this system. It's what we're giving them, the iPads, the addictions, one after the other. So vaping actually hurts your brain. It said 40% people who left vaping or cigarettes have more control over their lives. They've got improved well-being. And 95% of the times when you don't have these habits, you feel less stressed. You know, what's this stress? You know, people who actually smoke, ask them, they're always stressed. When am I going to smoke? Some people actually break their fast with a cigarette, mashallah. ذهب الظما وابتلت العروق وثبت العذر إن شاء الله. When was that the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? It's come down to that, wallahi, that we are suffering. And this is not something made up. We're speaking from the facts and figures, inshallah.